Good morning, evening, and afternoon, and welcome to part 78 of Aokana, no Kanata no fō rizumu. Last time we had a few things happen which was quite interesting. One specific one that I'll mention in a bit. So we started off with Minori. I say Minori, but was whoops, wrong thing. What do I normally Hosaka. I can't remember how I usually refer to her. I think it's Minori. I think I'll just go with Minori. Anyway. Minori came to the their club room, and apologized for that whole cat incident thing that happened between Masaya and Mashiro. And then she told Masaya about the cat ears, that the cat ears had a camera in it, and that it had recorded the whole incident. She then told that before she could do anything with it or see it, Mashiro demanded for the footage, and she took it away from her. This whole situation. So Minori doesn't know what was on it, or that was recorded, I should say. And Masaya had assumed, well, you would obviously assume this, but that Mashiro had gone and destroyed the footage, the tape, I should say. But in fact, she took it home with her and had watched it a few times. The reason why I say a few times is just from the way she was saying in both English and Japanese, is that it was again one more time. So you can assume that she's watched it a few times. And then after going crazy about it, as well as getting an interesting interruption from her mother as well, she went back to the footage and noticed that it had changed to a different recording on the same tape. But this recording was older than it was. It was of an old flying circus match. And when I saw that, I was already quite intrigued, because there's only, when we think of old flying circus and a match in a sense, and that is related to this story, we can always instantly assume that it's about Masaya. And from what we could tell from Mashiro's reaction, is that she seemed to have noticed who they were in the recording. We're not too sure exactly if it was just the one or both, or if she really did, but we can only assume right now. Anyway, after that we had a normal practice session, but Masaya had told them that in 2 weeks time they're going to be doing that joint practice session with Takefuji. And during this practice I should say, Mashiro seemed to be not focused at all, and her practice seems to be a bit underperforming, I should say. I can only assume this is possibly due to her being distracted by that recording she had seen. After the practice session, she waited for Asuka, and she waited for her, and then she wanted to ask her out to have fun, to play or do something outside of flying circus in a sense. Asuka being ecstatic about it, she was really happy about it, but she suggested to go swimming in their flying circus uniform. Okay, well obviously they probably didn't have anything with them and they didn't have time, so okay. And lastly, we had something we've seen before, was the misinterpretation of Asuka's feelings to Masaya. I say this because Asuka is quite vocal in terms of how she feels about people, in a sense. What she normally says is she loves Masaya, but she does reiterate what she means by saying that she loves all the club members. that's just how she feels. But yeah, a bit of a longer intro here. I really want to do catch up to what had happened last time, and I'm quite interested to see how this is gonna. I feel like we're gonna get a CG here, because I feel like we haven't had one in a while, and I think it would work well with them swimming. And I feel like later on we might see Masaya interrupting them and getting angry at them. They did say that this might happen, so yeah, let's take a look and see what's gonna happen, I guess.
Hi. さすがに疲れました。アスカ先輩、部活の後なのに全力すぎです。遊ぶのも一生懸命です。後悔なんて残さないくらい。
I feel like there's a bit more to that, but anyway.
FC 部で頑張ってると、なんとなくですけど、そういうことも教わってる気がします。先輩、感受性強すぎですよ。そうですか？ましろちゃん、ましろちゃん、ほら、隣に寝転がってみてください。髪にべったり砂がついちゃいますよ。
I think yeah, she just says that your sand will get in your ear. It's not really saying, "Are you sure you want all that sand in your head?" It's more like saying it will happen.
空しか見えなくて、なんだか飛んでるみたいです。本当ですね。
Not really the CG I was expecting, but okay.
今でも夢みたいです。毎日毎日この中を飛べるってこと、本当に幸せすぎます。昔空をずーっと見上げてた小さい頃の私に教えてあげたいです。夢は叶うよって、あなたは空を飛べるようになるんだよって。
What? Oh, she's referring to her past stuff, okay.
アスカ先輩。はい。先輩は FC の才能があるとか天才ってよく言われてますよね。それってどう思ってます？気分を悪くしちゃったならごめんなさい。スルーしてください。嬉しいです。すっごく嬉しいです。
Yeah, I can understand how, although I feel like there are two aspects to this. Some people would obviously be happy to hear that they've got talent, but I feel like some people might feel overburdened by it and feel like they've got too much, what's the word I'm looking for? Too much pressure on them by hearing that. Makes them feel like they have to perform to that level.
私、これといって取り柄のない地味な子です。あと、ちょっと抜けてるとこ、自分でも分かってます。ずっと他の子が羨ましかった。何か持ってて、キラキラしてて、眩しくて。何もできないこともそうですけど、何も一生懸命になれることがなかったことの方が、すごく惨めで、悲しかったような気がします。空は好きでしたけど、FC とは縁のない生活をしていましたから。もし転校してきて、マサヤさんが私の手を引いて空に連れて行ってくれてなかったら、今の私はいなかったような気がします。それ、私にとっての美咲先輩みたいなものかもしれません。
Interesting.
そうなんですか？全部が全部そうってわけじゃないですけど。でしたら、お互いいい人に巡り合えましたね。ですね。って、勝手に口を挟んじゃいました。ごめんなさい。いいえ、どこまで話しましたっけ？ 先輩がアスカ先輩を空に連れて行ったって。そうでしたそうでした。ですからそうですね、マサヤさんが私の空なのかもって思います。こんなこと言うときっとマサヤさんは怒っちゃいますけど、アスカには自分だけの空があるはずだとかってマサヤ先輩はそういうこと言いそうですね。そのマサヤさんが私に FC の才能があるって言ってくださったんです。私なんかがって思っちゃいそうですけど、信じます。信じたいです。だってマサヤさんがそう言ってくださったんですから。でも同時にほんのちょっとだけ悔しいです。空が好きで頑張って汗もいっぱいいっぱいかいて、それで才能の一言は努力が足りないのかなって感じます。
It is actually quite interesting with this type of line of sentence. In a sense, you feel like you're trying hard constantly. You're always putting in the effort, the work, the practice, and then people tell you it's you have this talent. You were born with this talent. It was given to you and things like that. It's the way I can understand what she's saying is that she's saying that when people tell her she has potential or she has that thing, it's almost saying that it's disregarding her efforts. And then, as she was saying, yeah, it makes her feel like maybe she wasn't trying hard enough. Maybe she just needs to go even more. And it's like, yeah.
先輩は決してそんなつもりで言ってないと思いますよ。はい、分かってます。贅沢です。難しいです。だからきっと私が羨ましいって思って見てたキラキラした人たちもこんなことを考えてたのかなって。私がもうキラキラしてるって自分でそう思っているわけではないですよ。かわいい。
Well, obviously, yeah, she just says cute, kawaii. Just simply. But obviously, I can understand what I'm saying. Silly thing. It's a cute thing of saying the way that Asuka is acting is. Yeah, it should be fun.
アスカ先輩はキラキラ輝いてますよ。ましろちゃん意地悪です。でもやっと見つけた大好きなものだから大切にしたいなって心からそう思っています。
I was about to say, I feel like we don't actually know of Mashiro's really goals, dreams, what she wants to do in a sense. Like, we only know like a sliver of information. We don't really know too much. And I feel like that's possibly one thing for Mashiro is that she doesn't have that.
大丈夫ですか？私こういうのは苦手で、言ってる意味ちゃんと伝わってました？羨ましいです。
Speak lately. Urayamashi desu is jealous. I'm jealous.
そこまで空が大好きなこと、すごく羨ましい。
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
ましろちゃんにも大好きなものがきっとすぐに見つかりますよ。ましろちゃん？アスカ先輩にこんなことを言うのは自分でもおこがましいかもって思うんですけど。はい、何ですか？
Is she gonna come out with it?
私も
Oh.
空が好きなんです。
I wonder if this is Maybe I'm reading too much into this, but I feel like the way she's saying it is more of a poke at Masaya. Mainly because of how Asuka was referring to Masaya earlier. Where was it? Masaya kind of feels like the sky to me. And how Asuka loves the sky, you can almost refer to as that. That's also what she could have thought of here as well. And that's how I feel like Mashiro is referring to Masaya in this way. Not directly, but in a lower end. I wonder if this is kind of like her admission to her, how she feels about him now. Okay. Yeah, the way she's speaking now, it's definitely referring to Masaya. Both the way she's saying it and what she's saying now, it definitely does. But obviously we know Asuka, she thinks she's speaking about the sky. I'm obviously looking way too far into this, but I think that's what it is. Oops, sorry.
私はアスカ先輩ほど純粋じゃないからちょっと不安です。先輩ほどまっすぐじゃないから他にも好きなものがあったりするから気遅れしちゃいます。好きなものが一つだからまっすぐだとは限らないと思います。え？好きにもいろいろあると思いますし、尽くしたり感じたり付き合い方はものによってそれぞれで、でも全部を心から好きだと思えるなら、私は好きなものが好きになれるものがたくさんある人の方がずっと魅力的だと思います。どうでしょう、嘘はついていないのですが。
She was saying about uso, which is a lie. But,
アスカ先輩、どうしました？ごめんなさい。嘘をついているとしたら私の方かもしれません。ごめんなさい。嘘をついているとしたら私の方かもしれません。
what an interesting line, yeah. Okay, so she's saying sorry here, uso, which is lie, or tsuiteiru to, which is attached, so it's more like the lie that is attached to it. したら、私の方かもしれません. That is my fault? 私の方かも. 方 is more like direction or translate this again. Anyway, it's more like she's saying Toshtara is more like if there is a lie attached. It's quite tough to translate that sentence. This might have, in the English translation, yeah, could have been referring to that if I actually lied to you.
Mashiro-chan, あれってもしかして。
Here she's saying, Mashiro, is that perhaps...
私が好きな空というのは実は。
Sorry, let me just hear hers again.
マシロちゃん、あれってもしかして。
Yeah, I think the English translators got this wrong. So here, there was... Okay, so... Mashiro's talking, obviously, says she loves this guy. I assumed she's talking about Masaya. Asuka is assuming that she's speaking about the sky. But Mashiro realized, okay, what I say is not exactly true. Kind of. It's not exactly true, but kind of true in a sense, is what she's kind of referring to. And Asuka kind of picks up on that.
Mashiro-chan, あれってもしかして。
あれってもしかしたら is that what I think it is in a sense.
Mashiro-chan, あれってもしかして。
Okay, I need to put this back into Japanese. This is hard to hear, do with the hearing. あれって which is more like that thing. もしかして perhaps, or is that perhaps? So she's saying, are you? So you're not talking about the sky. Are you perhaps referring to? Is what she's trying to say, yeah. And then here, Mashiro is saying, 私が好きな空というのは実は. So the thing I love is 空というのは. If I were to refer to the sky as, it is actually. So that's what I'm saying. The English got it way wrong, yeah. So that's why I first got it wrong as well myself. When she said Mashiro, look, or
Mashiro-chan, あれってもしかして。
あれってもしかして. I thought she was saying, oh, what is that? Is that perhaps something? I thought she saw something, and perhaps she recognized what it could be. That's why I thought what she says here, Mashiro-chan, look. So the way I first translated it, in terms of Asuka realizing that she's referring to possibly not the sky, but also Masaya, that's what should have been here. This English, it's completely out of sync as well. I'm pretty sure. Unless there's something else after this, but... Okay, so maybe it's both. Okay, yeah, I think it's both. I think that's also why Mashiro was...
Mashiro-chan, あれってもしかして。
Okay, if I were to listen to the tone of her voice, then I can assume that Mashiro-chan looked more. I think my point of view was more in line with Mashiro's point of view. Because obviously from what I can tell, where they're standing is face to face, and I assume Asuka sees, I'm assuming, Masaya behind Mashiro. And so Mashiro doesn't know that she's referring to looking behind her. Whereas in Mashiro's point of view, Mashiro assumes that Asuka's picked up on what she's trying to say. I actually quite like this for a couple of sentences. It's quite intricate. And that's what I like about Japanese language as well, is that from a couple of words, you can't tell what exactly it is about, but you can only tell from the tone, the pronunciation of it, and what exactly is in how it's structured, I guess you could say. Because I got two different meanings from this, which is quite nice to see, and they both fit. But yeah, so this is referring to possibly something being there that Asuka's realized, and from what they were saying earlier, it's possibly Masaya. But we can now assume that Mashiro does feel that way with Masaya.
何ですか先輩、いきなり手を引いて。痛いですよ。ナンパの人です。
Okay.
本当だ。あっちから来る二人組のいかにもって格好の人たちですね。
I heard something about Sorry, just 1 second.
本当だ。あっちから来る二人組のいかにもって格好の人たちですね。
Ah, okay.
近寄ってきます。飛んで逃げましょう。私もこの格好、ナンパの人になんて見られたくありません。体がまだ濡れてるからシューズが履きづらいです。ほら、早くしてください。うわ、あいつら走り出しましたよ。絶対絶命です。どうしたら。
They're running?
ちょっと私が行って追っ払ってきますから、先輩はその間に逃げててください。ちょっとってそんな。大丈夫です。私地元民だし、うちで接客とかしてるから慣れてますし。
She doesn't sound confident.
ダメです。ましろちゃん声震えてるし、顔も青いし、涙目になっちゃってます。ちょいのちょいですから。全然ちょいになってません。ましろちゃん言っちゃダメですってば。怖くない。全然怖くないんだから。私を守ってください、先輩。
I wonder if this is referring to Masaya. And I was assuming that perhaps maybe a few things here. One, they're not actually walking or running to Mashiro and Asuka. Two, they can't see them, the two guys from the distance, so they can't tell who it is exactly, so it could be Shion and Masaya. And then three, one thing I think of is maybe this is them coming to pick them up. In terms of flirters, I guess you could say. But in comes Masaya to save Mashiro, and that further improves her view of him.
あれ？ましろちゃん一人では行かせられません。怖いですけど、私も行きます。それがアスカ先輩。あれを。あれ？しぶしぶって感じで帰っていってますね。どうしてでしょう。さあ。
Okay. One thing I thought now was that perhaps Masi is standing right behind him right now. And then the guys who are coming their way realize, oh, damn, they're with a guy.
あれ？今あの人たち、空を見た。あ。
Phew, glad I managed to get those guys to go away. I heave a sigh as I watch the two sleazy looking guys walk off. They clearly had their sights on Asuka and Mashiro. It's summer break now, which means tourists are all over. You can't be careless even on a seemingly empty beach like this one. I swear I warned Asuka about them. Just as I was leaving the club room about to head home, I caught sight of Asuka and Mashiro flying off somewhere in their practice suits. Curious, I tailed them, but as it turned out they just wanted to swim. I started to watch them from afar, thinking that this was the only reasonable course of action. But I soon realized how creepy that seemed, and guys spying on two who were swimming. Also realized something else, namely that if I spotted any real creeps eyeing them up, I wouldn't be able to go down and help. I mean, how would I explain to the girls that I was spying on them? Ultimately, the very situation I dreaded came to pass, but luckily I pretended to swoop down toward them and they left. I feel less bad about spying on them now, since I can at least say I had pure intentions. Asuka and Mashiro have already been swimming for a long time, so I doubt they'll stay any longer after what just happened. I'm their coach, my job is to support our players, even from the shadows. No need to go reveal myself to them, I'll just leave. Okay, so he's assuming they haven't seen them or spotted them, but obviously Masaya has. Oh, sorry, not Masaya, Mashiro has. Oh, attack. Text. I have a bad feeling about this, but I'll check anyway. Sender Mashiro Arisaka, subject senpai, think again, perv. And I'm so curious what the Japanese is saying. Skebe. Well, skebe is, yeah, quite closely related to perv or pervert. I think another one would be lecher, but pervert I think is fine. But I think again, I don't understand where they're getting this from. Just an added thing to them, but again. I drop my shoulders in shame as I feel my pride as a coach dwindling. Damn, she caught me. I think it was just her though. I don't notice her looking my way down on the beach, so maybe she's trying to keep asking if I'm realizing out of consideration for me. Hard to tell whether she's nice or not sometimes. Oh? Upon closer inspection, I see a scroll bar. Ah, it's one of those. It's a lot of empty space and then extra at the bottom. As I scrolling endlessly, I found the rest of the message. I think that was really nice. Like that. Sorry. I think that was really nice. Like that you helped us. You should let me thank. Okay, but before it moves on, let's take a look. 今日はありがとうございます。かっこよかったこともな。もしよければ。俺 I know is thanks. So 今日はありがとうございます。Thank you for today. かっこよかった。Yokata is more like if you'd like, or yokata, or thank you, or yokata. No, it's short. It's the kata form for yoi or e, which is good. So if I'm assuming kakko here is the shortened version for kakui, which is cool, for looking good. Anyway, I'm really going all the way here. Anyway, moshi yokereba is if it is possible, if it is alright with you. Ima is now, but I don't know if it's conjoined kanji because I'm not too sure which that one is again. Ore, which is thanks. Maybe this is what's trying to say is, I think that was really nice that you helped us, or maybe in Japanese was what I'm thinking is, it was really cool of you to help us. Thank you. You should let me thank you. Or maybe no, never mind. Why the weird incomplete sentences? Suppose this is supposed to be some cryptic message. Okay. Or a joke, maybe? Guess I'm just not good enough as a coach to earn her sincerity. What do you mean? So yes, they're saying ore ni shite mo, even with the thanks, in a sense, that I recognize, but I can't remember what the kanji is itself. Iu ni wa mada mada hashirenai. I'm getting that wrong. Kou shitate mo iitai no ka? He's saying I'm not a good enough coach yet. Anyway. Challenge accepted. Prepare yourself to practice for practice tomorrow, Mashiro. I'm gonna ramp things up big time. Yeah, okay, so I guess they've written it that he had no clue what she was trying to say with the messages. which I am just shocked by. I pumped myself up from my hidden position.
あれ、ましろちゃんメール打ってたんですか？ちょっと
Wait,
勇気出してみちゃいました。
hold on one second. So I went back quickly, mainly because of, well, let me just go back to this quickly.
あれ、ちょっと勇気出してみちゃいました。
So when she said this, I thought, wait, what does she mean by that? And I thought instantly to myself, there was something hidden in there. There was a hidden message in there. I'm pretty sure there was. So I went back quickly to this part here, and I instantly saw this. I like you. Or I think that's, or that's what I see. I like you. That's what I saw in Japanese, in the English. And I thought, I wonder what they said in Japanese, but I can't quite figure it out. The only thing I can think of is the ki kamo, which is ki is short, ski. Kamo is more like perhaps, or like I think, or like might like you in a sense. But it doesn't seem right. But it's not like kyo kako moshi yo, but that's not right either. Yeah, I can't quite figure it out in the Japanese. Because what's killing me is they've had to, the English had to know, the translators had to know that there was a hidden message in there for them to have done that, unless she says that later on later on. Otherwise, it's something I'm not quite picking up. But yeah, I'm just gonna take a few minutes, just gonna try a few things, and then I'll see what I come up with. So after a few more tens of minutes, I think I've got something in terms of the Japanese version of it. The way I got it was the English one. They have "I love you," which in plain Japanese would be "suki desu." So I'm trying to think of how can they have it, and I thought maybe it's like kikamo, kyokamo, kyokako, moshi yo, or ukoyo, yoshi. I'm trying to think of how can they get "I love you" in Japanese with what we have here. I couldn't really think of it, but then I realized some Japanese riddles or word plays, they have it where they have, when you get like a paragraph, you sometimes have an extra word or something, an extra word like maybe ka or ri or ta, and then with the way they do it in Japanese is they realize this is a riddle or this is a puzzle. So the way you solve it is you take out all the cores. Let's say there's so many cores and you realize, oh, there's too many of those, so you take those out and then you reread it without that letter. Then I realized that, okay, that's sure, but then I thought there are some kanji and some words in here that don't have their kanji, which for example is kyo, which is today. Today is normally written with kanji, I'm pretty sure. So I realized, okay, maybe it's the kanji. Maybe because this one isn't in kanji, if it was in kanji, you couldn't have that same thing going top to bottom. But then again, none of this makes sense to me. But then I realized when I was reading it again, it says ya kyo wa arigatou gozaimasu. Obviously, you normally end it with su, and that's what instantly piqued my interest. Because normally when you say "I love you" in Japanese, you start with su, suki desu. So then I thought, okay, so maybe it's su and then ki from here. But then the des, because you can't really just say ski. It's just this seems lackluster. There has to be more to it. So then I thought, what could be end here? Because this also seems incomplete. And this one. Kako yokatta koto mo na. Just stops with na. And it feels a bit weird again. So I couldn't think of this properly. Even now, I'm still not 100% sure about this one. But this one I'm a bit more confident on. I'm still not sure about this one. I didn't look it up. But anyway. Ima something. Ore. I think you would normally end it with des. Ore des. I feel like you would. Again. Or maybe it could be da. Not too sure. Again, kind of pushing it. But it just seems like the more proper way of doing it. So then I thought, if this is des and this is su, this must be ki. Because then that would be kako yokatta koto mo naki. Because then I looked up with naki is sometimes added as a suffix to add less. So like soulless or can't think of any other words right now. But you add less to the end to the word. So then I thought, okay, that could be it then. Because then you could have ski des. Because those are the words that are missing. Because nothing else makes sense to me in terms of the Japanese. And I think this, if this was it, then I gotta give it props. Because that was brilliant in terms of, I love these types of things. And it's so subtle that nobody would notice that. I think even in the English one, people I don't think would actually see that unless you notice with how she was saying it. Or if they come back and tell you again later on. But so I'm just trying to see if there was anything more. So I just saw it really helped me. I thought, okay, maybe. I like you. I think that that you helped me. I like that you helped me. Well, I'm obviously pushing it, but I just think it's quite interesting with the English. You can go a little bit more with that. Obviously, I could go more with the Japanese as well, but wow, have I been on long on that? But yeah, I'm just gonna go back to where I was.
ちょっと勇気出してみちゃいました。
And just with that, I'm gonna end it today. I didn't do too much today. A lot of talking again, but I really enjoyed how things have progressed. There's still a bit of uncertainty in terms of Masaya's point of view, but it's really nice to see Mashiro's change and how she has felt with Masaya. And this talk with Asuka and then the ending with Masaya has really shifted her view on it, and I really like that. I think that's quite a nice character development for her as well. Would have liked to have gotten a little bit more backstory, because she seemed like there was something about her and Misaki being similar to how it's Asuka and Masaya in their past. So I wonder about that. There's still more to it. What was I saying? There still is more that needs to be done. More like her knowing about the past flying circus match, not knowing about, but knowing the people in it. The recordings, I'm just blanking on that. Anyway. Yeah, I really enjoyed today's episode. It's one of the things I enjoy doing, actually a lot more these days now, is the translations and that. I still remember how when I first started Aokana, the translation was really bugging me and it was actually really putting me off of it. obviously it still gets to me how, I can't say bad, but how different I would have put the translation. And just seeing the differences and having in my own take on it, my own view, with my lack of knowledge of it, and seeing it and portraying it to others who may not know the language. I really enjoy that. Especially today with the text message. I think that was really good, the way they did it. And I honestly am putting the translators down a bit. Because I honestly feel like they didn't see that message, or they didn't see that little subtleness. Maybe they saw something else that I didn't see, because maybe my view was being a bit too pushy, I guess you could say. And I just feel like maybe she'll say what it is later on, and they probably realized it and they changed it, went back and changed it. Again, who knows? I'll have to wait and see. Yeah, I really did enjoy today's episode. A lot of cutting and stopping, but yeah. Anyway, that'll be it for now. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it. Please know your thoughts. I'll see you all next time.